Hi folks, so we have a short and sweet game today for you. So this is my game against Robert from the top 8 of the Champions of Westeros League, the Winter Edition. And playing Lannister Alliance for this one, with trading with Qohor and Banner of the Stag. And as you can see, Robert is playing Tyrell Fealty. So nice opening hand, almost like it was back in the day. We have Tywin and the Reducer plus a Rose Road, just missing a duplicate to make it absolutely perfect. And there are 3 attachments in hand, which is a nice little number. This deck is basically a rush deck, goes very quickly if you can trade the right attachments at the right time, but you need a good starting number. If you only have 1, it can be a problem, but with 3 it should be decent enough. Now the worry here for me was an early Mulgulis, since I didn't have the money, the gold to put in the bodyguard, but as you can see, with only 1 character and some economy on the board, I figured I would be pretty safe, because that would be a pretty big tempo hit for Robert in the early game, and I could still play my 2 characters with attachments, even if Tywin was killed here. Going for the maiden because the economy, the initiative obviously is important in this deck, to go first with Intimidate, which you can get with the Warhammer. And the other opening possibly is Pentoshi, but with Tywin on the board and only 2 small characters in hand, I figured I didn't really need the extra gold. And Robert knows probably that my plan is some Intimidate here, so he goes first. And I get another couple of attachments, which are pretty handy here. Okay, duped Marjorie, which is problematic. She can bring in the key characters like Renly Baratheon or Randyll Tarly. But if I can win a challenge, I can exchange one of my attachments for a milk. And here we have some more economy, so set up for the longer game. And also Golden Grove, I wasn't really sure. I don't have much experience of playing against it. I wasn't sure what it could do, so we have appointed on Baxter, which means he can be used with Golden Grove in theory. And now plenty of gold to play out some of the characters and a few attachments. So I do have 2 with Ambush paid off, and Sir Pounds have Ambush, so I fully intended to leave 2 gold for the challenges phase for that, and then also there is Treachery in case something triggers that I don't like. 0 gold currently for Robert, but Baxter does have that ability to play an event, which of course Treachery doesn't help with, but it's still a concern. Yeah, Myrcella can participate in multiple challenges, but the number of cards is pretty tight, so it works currently, but I'm about to play some more cards out of my hand, and then her ability will be turned off. So just going for the attachments instead, giving Tywin Intimidate and some protection, and there's 2 gold for the ambush, and then what to do with the last one, save it for treachery or play the boy king as well. Saving that for treachery. So Paxter reduces the cost of the first event you play, but doesn't help with paid off. So if you have no gold, there is no way to stand the character, and even though Tywin with Intimidate attacking would be the more usual, if I can just win this on defense and get paid off on Marjorie and kneel her, that's Robert done with challenges in this round, and I can still do 3 challenges with Sir Pounce on Shireen. That was my thinking. Still worried obviously about some strength boost or some way to stand here for Robert, but no. Yeah, what to do with the order? So you could go military first, but then maybe Marjorie triggers. That was my worry. She exchange Baxter for something bigger, and of course standing. And no guarantee that treachery will work. So going for the intrigue first. And now that paid off has served its purpose, so it can be switched for something else. And yeah, 2 decent options. One is disputed claim, the other is milk. So since Shireen is about to do 1 more challenge here, getting as much on her as possible, obviously with disputed claim from the first challenge is the plan. So power next, and then on this challenge Sir Pounce, I guess, is now expendable. It could be swapped for a milk, which would then allow poor fellows to do a safe military challenge. Looking at the others as well, so Warhammer not needed urgently either. And of course Sir Pounce is useful next round as well, especially nice on Shireen. And now one of the dupes will have to be claimed probably. And yeah, tough choice, power already running away a little bit. And giving me a card here makes me pretty happy as well with Myrcella in hand. So power on poor fellows instead. And still that 1 gold left to win dominance. And what now? So milk doesn't really do anything now that the military challenge is gone, but it could in the plot phase. And disputed claim doesn't do anything now that Shireen is not in the challenge. So with power on her, going for a bodyguard to protect her. And we've opened with a brilliant 8 power already in round 1. So another round like that would just be game over. And the best thing, of course, is that bodyguards on the 2 characters protect most of the power here. King in the north is very playable. because it stops the triggers, and usually you can do your thing in that round, but it stops the bodyguard, so I was afraid to do that, going for heads on spikes instead, because the number of cards in Robert's hand pretty low, and hitting is very nice, the 2 power, and any potential that he is used, of course, is now gone. He could have triggered in the dominance phase, get rid of my bodyguards, and then bye-bye power with Morghulis. Yeah, so that was pretty lucky turn of events here. And now Casterly Rock with Sir Pounce on Shireen is pretty strong for me as well. Myrcella and the other attachment, the Boy King. So Robert opened your king commands it, which means non-king characters cannot gain power. That means Shireen as well, so no disputed claim on Shireen or Myrcella. There is only one character that can gain power now, and that's Tywin, because the Wolf King, not the Wolf King, the Boy King also gives him the king trait, and he was the only lord. So slightly more difficult to gain any renown power, but still going first and against a limited board, unless Robert has a lot of characters in hand. There could still be some quick power gain. Okay, 2 characters, and Randall Tarly is a pretty big and annoying one. He can trigger his ability for some surprises, and the stand as well, although currently the traits don't really work out. And this is a problem because, of course, you need to oppose challenges now, and it's just a preemptive kneel off the board to push the others through. I don't think it matters really if he wins on defense here, but since Shireen can just remove both of them and remove the strength contribution, that means the challenge ends without winner or loser if you do that. So that's now 1 character down. And 2 left, but Shireen cannot do it herself. She needs another character in the challenge to push it through successfully, and that may as well be Tywin. Yeah, single character defending doesn't quite work, because Shireen removes the strength contribution, and then it's unopposed. And Tywin, of course, has renown and the chance to swap something for intimidate, for the Warhammer, I mean, for intimidate, or possibly a milk on Randall Tarly, just so nothing surprising happens. So Sir Pounce is not needed, intrigue challenges are over, and going for intimidate on Tywin. And Randall Tarly goes down, gives me a chance to do military unopposed. which is 13. And guard being taken for claim means that even the boy king can now trigger. So that's 14, and now since there is no power claim, what I need is either dominance or an unopposed, and I can get that unopposed with Shireen's trigger that gets rid of Marjorie, and Myrcella pushes the challenge through unopposed. Of course, Randall Tarley did have, I think he did have a possible trigger here, but Robert not going for it. I don't think it would have worked anyway, and I have a treachery, so got everything, absolutely everything I needed in this game to win in 2 rounds. Pretty lucky. So you can join me in the next game when things don't go so well. So keep an eye on that. Thanks for joining me for this one. See you all next time.